Good morning, Peter. Hello, Peter. Good evening.
Hi,
Hello,
good evening,
viewers. Hello,
Armin.
watchers on YouTube. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, hello,
So,
viewers.
of course,
Thanks for.
they're exactly there. I can see them all, even you. Be careful with your popcorn. Okay, fine. So good. Fine. So, everything prepared, beer, popcorn. Telephone is unmuted. Fine. So now we can start. Good.
Room is clean.
But I don't care.
Yeah. We had, I have to say, we had some nice podcasts with Jasmine Singh.
It was nice. Yeah.
Wonderful,
He's a really
wonderful.
knowledgeable and a very respectful guy. I like him.
Yeah. And funny too. Funny too.
Quite fun. Yeah, he has this nice light humor. I like it.
Yeah.
We will invite him again. I think he still knows a lot of more things, and we can dig a little deeper.
Yeah.
But it was fun because many people were directly complaining we're talking too much about politics. And okay, then we did directly another podcast, more than 2 hours. It's
Politics.
fine.
As we said, everything is connected to politics and
Yeah.
to
And when you see
everything.
how much politics is going on in archery clubs, then then it's a good night.
Yeah. Where you.
I mean, what was the reason that you stopped being the head of this archery organization? And
Yeah.
it was politics that made you stop.
If I'm looking back at those days back then, when I was the president for 20 years, I have not taken it serious enough
Mhm.
because they saw it as politics, but I didn't see
Yeah.
it as politics. When
Mhm.
we had a meeting, or that annual meeting or so,
Mhm.
I said, okay, yes, right, the
Mhm.
protocol and that and
Mhm.
everything, okay. And I was too sloppy. I
Mhm.
didn't follow the protocol as correct as possible because I
Mhm.
was too cool, and
Yeah.
that was a big mistake.
Mhm.
Was a big mistake.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I know it, but
Mhm.
it was like it was, and I'm proud of it because
Yeah,
we
exactly.
had good times. We had
Mhm.
good days.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
Yeah.
what matters. And when you get caught up, and this is a problem with most of these organizations, and they get caught up with internal structure, hierarchy, greed, and whatever, and what have you, and then you fight each other instead of bringing something forward. And this is what I always see.
It's just in a bigger scale. It's the same with government.
Yeah.
They get lost in many
Mhm.
problems,
Yeah.
miniature problems,
Yeah.
and in the archery club, oh, how long should the sausages be, and where we buy the bread, and where
Mhm.
this and that, and they don't have a goal. They don't
Yeah.
have a view in the future.
Mhm.
How what is the idea? How I like to have this organization in 10 years? What are my goals?
Yeah.
And they get lost in little
Just
fuckings.
what the next day or for the next party, what do we need to
Yeah,
on Friday we have the next party, so
yeah,
we need to
yeah.
organize. Yeah, but they don't have
And
the
yeah,
bigger picture, the bigger view.
yeah,
Yeah.
they lose the big picture and they're just in the details. And
Yeah, and this is what I always call this in German Beschäftigungstherapie für Dumme. So only
yeah.
to make them look busy and that they have something to do to
And
show
nowadays,
something. Yeah.
there are only uh, credits or argument
Mm.
at the annual meeting. They say, look,
Mhm.
that's what we have on the bank account.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
don't say how much fun they had. They
Yeah.
don't say,
Yeah.
oh, and that was great, and that, and oh, and so, and so, and
Mhm.
oh, well, let's do it again next year,
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That this is the amount we have on the bank.
But for an organization which is a non-profit,
Yeah,
should not be the major goal. Of course, you need money
yeah,
to reinvest and whatever, but I had this discussion today with a guy. Either you do it out of passion, then money comes, or you do it for money. But then the passion is whatever.
Must not be, but in
But
the
it's
the
tended.
archery club
You
cases,
can see it.
it's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as you said, a lot of politics inside the clubs
Yeah.
because as long as I was president, I had an at every tournament, we had 2 big tournaments
Mhm.
a year.
Mhm.
I had an open class, so
Mhm.
a compound shooter, a crossbow shooter, it was able
Mhm.
to compete and join
Mhm.
in
Yeah.
and so on, because I already thought, okay, there's 2 villages
Mm.
ahead. There's one guy with a compound bow, and he can't go to our tournament because
Mm.
we don't allow a compound
Yeah.
bow.
Yeah.
So what I like to say is
Mm.
yes, like they say, the splitting of the society in one
Mhm.
club. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
we are only for self bows, and we are only
Mhm.
for compound bows, and we are only
Mm.
for recurves, or only for horse bows, or so on.
Mhm.
And that's
Mm.
stupid. That's
Yeah.
just stupid.
Of course.
Open, like George Soros likes it. Open society. You have a compound bow, come in.
Mhm.
Even if you're coming from Syria or Egypt or
Mhm.
Ethiopian, or I
Mm.
don't know.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's like this.
yeah,
And then what you always have in these organizations, like, then there are 100 people sitting there and 2 or 3 people are doing the job. And
yeah,
they really work their ass off. And then the next meeting, the other 97, always, oh, you could have done it like this or like this. And they're
yeah,
always
yeah,
never
yeah.
happy with what you do. And then, of course, nothing works anymore because they are
But
not motivated.
I always tried to stop this,
Yeah.
because when they said, yes, we are always working and they are not,
Mm.
I say,
Yeah.
okay, that's how it is.
Yeah, exactly.
You
But then
have to
they
do
should
it or
not
don't do it.
criticize only because then I say, okay,
Yeah,
then you do it and shut up
yeah,
and do the job.
yeah.
But they don't.
Yeah. Then on the other hand, you can't use any person, every
Yeah, of
person
course.
for,
Or if
you
every
know,
job, of
it
course.
don't helps if I have an idiot
Yeah,
at
yeah,
the bar at night, it
yeah.
don't helps.
Doesn't work. Yeah, of
Yeah,
course. That's
yeah,
true. Yeah, it's like it is politics. That's why we everywhere have politics. Even in a family, you have politics. So then we
yeah,
talk about politics sometimes. It was interesting too.
yeah.
Oh, fine. But in the last podcast, we talked only almost about archery.
Yeah, and
And
female warriors and
oh, your female war is important. Yeah.
nice stuff.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have you seen? I found Byron Ferguson posted a picture of his new
Yes,
book. Have
I
you
saw
seen
it.
it?
I
I
shared
saw
it
it.
already on my Facebook page too.
Me
Nice. It's
too.
unfortunately the title doesn't show that it's with new stuff in it, so it only shows okay,
Yeah,
it's the same
yeah,
book. I mean,
yeah,
you have
yeah.
the old one, the first version.
I have the
Yeah.
old one here.
Become the arrow,
Become the arrow.
and the second one looks almost the same,
Yeah, yeah.
but there are
But
new chapters in it. Yes.
yeah, new pictures, new
Mm.
chapters,
Yeah.
and I think also some new insights, as he told
Yeah.
us about target
Target
panic
panic,
and
exactly.
so on.
Interesting for everyone to read what is, in the opinion of Byron Ferguson, target
Yeah.
panic. What was it for him, and how did he deal with it? It's very interesting.
He said, "Who never gets target panic
He
don't takes archery serious
doesn't take
enough."
it serious, but as I don't take anything very serious, but that's why I don't have a lot of problems in my life. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so I don't have target panic. I don't have life panic. I don't have whatever food panic. I don't panic
Food
because
panic.
life is too short to.
Yeah, pussy panic.
Don't, no, I never had that one. No. You have? Huh?
Sometimes.
Where's your cat? Speaking of which, Millie.
Where's Millie?
Oh.
Pussy panic.
Millie was good. Nice and tender. Oy, oy, oy.
She's a little terrorist.
Of course.
She wakes me up every morning, I think at 5 o'clock,
Mhm.
and all day long. She's wee, wee. I don't know. Crazy.
Oh, she's, as we say in Germany, the Apfel fällt nicht weit vom Stamm. Ne? The apple does not fall far from the tree.
I'm calm and
Yeah, yeah, of course.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
very calm. Mhm.
But she's a girl, so she's more crazy than
Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. So, what's the big topic today?
the big topic
You had a
is.
good idea?
I thought, because we talk a lot about combat and survival
Mm,
and zombie apocalypse
mhm.
or how is it called, blackout and so
Oh,
on.
mhm,
Uh, I thought I ask you what if you has to back out,
mhm,
what kind of archery gear would you take
mm,
with you for a kind of survival
mhm,
prepper
mm,
kit, so
mm.
you could
It,
use this bow, archery
mm,
stuff
mhm.
for as a tool, as help, as
Yeah,
weapon,
yeah, yeah. Mm.
as a device. So what would you
Yeah, first I have to
prefer?
say I got recently because people always ask me about these foldable survival bows from China, and I tested one, and it was supposed to be a 40 pound, but it didn't have even 20. Was really, even if it was only whatever $80 thrown out of the window because it's completely unusable, full crap. But this video brought me in contact now with SAS in America, and they built proper these foldable survival bows. And they sent me now a few. They're already on the way. They should be already in Malta. So it's an interesting idea that you have a one-piece foldable solution, unlike, I mean, I would take most probably right now one of these ones. You can put them, you don't need any tools for it. So I don't need another hex, whatever,
Yeah.
or so simple. You put it together, string it, and you're ready to go. Because for me, then the easiest bow to use would make the cake. And when I see then these survival bows where you simply, okay, you fold out the limbs, put the string on it, and done. There is nothing what you could lose, then it's fine by me. So this, I would take this. Of course, I still have this survival bow, which is an interesting thing. It's simply maybe not completely thought till the end, but you have this aluminum core, and then you get these limbs out here. I did a video about this bow. It's an interesting idea. And then you put the limb in here, and then you put the string on it, and you're ready to go. And you have even a slight, like horse bow characteristic.
And nobody would suspect you have a bow in your hand.
No, of course not. And then you see you have even here an arrow rest, and you
Wow.
put the handle with a lot of these paracord. So if you need paracord, you directly have it. And what he made is he made a few small doors. So he had an inner small lighter and a small knife, and so that you have everything on your bow, which is a nice idea. And even one of these small saws, these flexible ones that you can cut something,
Mhm.
and there is a compass. It's interesting in here gadgets where you can mount then the lamp or something. So it's an interesting idea, but it would be, I think, for me personally, too fiddly, too much going on. So either one of these foldable, good ones, or simply a small takedown, because I don't care if I have to back out how big it is. Even if it's a one piece, then I would take a relatively
Yeah.
short bow like this and
Yeah.
would be fine too. And I would most probably then leave it strung all the
Yeah.
time, because what's
Yeah.
the purpose? You come in a situation, in a survival situation, and you, oh, wait a second, I need to, whatever, assemble my bow.
I think we have to kind of separate the ideas of fighting against persons or use it as a hunting and survival tool.
But you said zombie apocalypse, so yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So of course you would have it strung.
Yes, of course. But of
Yeah,
course, if I go now into the forest and whatever and simply off grid, then I would
yeah,
take
yeah,
something like this. And if I go hunting, I chuck, put it together. And
yeah.
for me, important that there are no screws and nothing, that I can lose something. I don't need a tool to put them together. So this would be some kind of a bow for me. Short, snappy, powerful enough. But
Yeah,
this is the bow.
and
Hmm?
just to don't mislead the viewers or the people listening to us. If you ever have the choice to pick a firearm or a bow, pick the firearm,
Of
of
course.
course.
Yeah, of course.
So it is an alternative. You can
Or the
have
plan
it.
B, you have a firearm and you still take a bow with you, because it
Yeah,
can
yeah,
happen
yeah,
that you
yeah,
run out of ammunition or something can
yeah,
happen to
yeah,
your
yeah,
firearm,
yeah,
then you
yeah,
still have a bow.
yeah,
So it's always
yeah.
good to have a bow with you, because it's simply, it's fancy.
Also because you with a bow and an arrow you can do some things you couldn't do with a firearm.
Exactly.
You can shoot a rope over
Yeah,
a branch, or
yeah,
if you have to
something.
hang someone or so,
Yeah.
or you can. A big chapter, most people don't think about it when it's about survival or prepping with a bow, is bow fishing.
Yeah, and just wanted to say bow fishing. Go bow fishing with a rifle.
Yeah,
You kill the
difficult,
fish and the fish is gone. So
difficult. Yeah.
this way you get it back. So yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you take? Which bow?
I would take, like you said, a two-piece, and I have here one old glass fiber.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the brand, but also very
Yeah.
simple. It's an aluminum molded handle, I think, and it's quite straight, just a little recurved.
Mm-hmm.
So, and uh, one piece is 80 centimeters as long as an arrow
Just
about.
the
So
length of an arrow, yeah, which
it
is
would
fine.
be one
Yeah.
pack with arrows, and yes, and as simple as possible. No arrow rest, no fancy stuff.
Yeah.
I would carry
This is what I, because I read now a bit of these survival bows, and they always say the bow needs to be collapsed maximum 22 inches, that it fits in a backpack. But then you have your arrows, and the arrows are at least 28 inches. So you have always something a little longer, or you make takedown arrows, which is another thing.
another fiddly thing.
Another fiddly thing.
Because if you think about a longer scenery or longer stay in the woods, maybe you have to make your own arrows, so you can't make takedown arrows, so you make hazelnut or I don't know. And yes, and I would also take with me at least one spare string, maybe two.
I would take two,
yeah, because there can be an accident or a mishappening and you damage the string.
And as you say, when you have no arrow rest and nothing on it, you don't have to worry that something will break. When you see this one, as nice as the idea is, with the small arrow rest, once it breaks, of course you can shoot here from the shelf. I would make the shelf a little rounded, and it simply would remove this, because this is for me not survivor.
And if I would back out with this kind of bow, I think I would take with me a bow quiver, a slip-on bow quiver. So it would be one device, the bow with 6 hunting arrows, or as you like it, and you have everything in one hand and no rattling around. Because think about when you go hunting, one arrow you're carrying in your hand, in your hand. If you're stalking, if you're just walking, you can have it in your quiver. And if you have another 2 or 3 arrows spare in your bow quiver, so you don't need a big quiver or something, maybe
I would take more arrows. I would take at least 12 arrows with me, only to make sure that I have enough. Because you shoot one, you lose one, you break one, something happens.
No, for one hunting incident, not
but
for...
we go now out for survival.
For survival, I would take at least 18 arrows with me.
Of course, you have him then in your camp, wherever you make your camp, and then when you go hunting, of course, you take only a handful.
Or if I have a box and I can carry it, I would take 50 arrows with me. No
as
problem.
many as possible, exactly.
Yeah.
I would take a big box, a big bag, only filled up with arrows, all the arrows I have.
And a simple system to maybe to change the arrowheads, the arrow points, because imagine when you're in survival or backing out, you just need broadheads and you don't need any target
of course,
point. Maybe a flu with a judo point or something like that. And you also have to remember, when you think about bow fishing, you need a kind of point with a barb. Yeah. And as I said last time to Yasminda, it is very simple. You can use every thing you can glue on here on the bow.
Take this on, glue it on, and make the of course.
Yeah. So it's very simple. Yeah. What would we...
fishing line? I mean, I would have fishing equipment anyway with me. So of course you have fishing line, and then you can use it with bow and arrow too. You prep 1 or 2 arrows, or you get directly there these fishing arrows. You know, these fiberglass ones with these rubber veins and with this.
It is very simple. If you have aluminum or carbon arrows and you're bending a piece of wire, so you can wrap it around the head and have you make 2 little barbs or 1 barb and you screw it.
Exactly. Then you screw the tip in and done. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I only say because we had them once, these real fishing arrows. They have them directly, they are waterproof, and then the back they have this nice hole where you can put the silk in. Yeah. But yeah, of course, you even if you build your own arrow.
So if you back out a little reel of wire is not bad, of course. For many purposes, also you can make a fishing hook and improvised with wire. What more for the archery?
Yeah, I would take most probably a glove. Arm protection I would not, because I don't need, but a glove at least, that whatever it's wet and dry and cold and whatever, that I have a protection there. In
spare, you can have a tap also in your quiver. So if you,
because I don't shoot taps, so I'm not used to it.
Yes, but if you have nothing, maybe you lose your glove or you damage your glove, and then you have nothing. So a tap don't needs a lot of space.
Yeah, of course.
What would you know? What else would you need? I think you would need some hot glue, melting glue.
Yeah, something that you can fix something. Yeah, hot melt glue. Yeah, of course.
Maybe super glue.
A small super glue. Yeah.
Maybe some string wax, so you can wax the bow and wax the string, but that's not too important.
I think most probably I would not take that, because it's the bow needs to take.
Yes, and a nice kind of bag where you can put all of that stuff, and you have it together. Maybe you have your special hunting knife also in that bag, so you know you have everything in one.
Yeah, I would have most probably more than one knife. So I would have a big one and a small whatever, and one for food, and so 2-3 knives, and maybe a small axe or a hatchet. But that's not archery equipment. We talk about archery equipment. Yeah. What else do you need? A quiver when you go then out hunting or something, that you're on the way. So you have one thing is you transport it and you go somewhere in your survival. Then you build your camp, and then you go hunting around the camp, and then you have maybe a small quiver or something.
Yeah, or as you say, hunting with a bow quiver, that's not bad.
Yeah,
because you have everything together.
I think yes, exactly. I think he made here these attachments for the arrows. Exactly. I forgot what these are for. He made here. Then there are these clamps where you can put the arrows in. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
It's always a little problem with these bows that you put the bow quiver on, but you can make it work.
Yeah.
What else do you need?
And
sharpening tool for your blades.
Of course, a file and a stone also, because you need it for your knife and for your.
You have it anyway with you, yeah.
And because of the fragile fragility.
Sounds good.
I would always prefer straighter bows over recurved or too fancy bows. What I don't understand with these all folding bows, they have a middle segment as long as the limbs.
Inches. Yeah, 22 inches.
But that's that mass.
Yes, it's not about efficiency in this case. You have then a 50-pound. It will not perform like a Howard Hill bow, obviously, but it's 22 inches. The limb is 22 and 22. So when it's extended, it's 66, and you fold it together, then you have a package of 22 inches.
Yeah,
it's okay by me.
Here I have one with 28 inches, and it's a real bow with all the limbs, the limb working.
Mine has 37 inches with everything working.
It's a Barbie bow.
It's almost the length of your folded one, mine. But for this one, this is a real beast. So this one is good. And the system here, I said, easy peasy.
I see, yeah. Nice.
And it's really nice made. It's really, really well made. AJ Archery, Indonesia. They built this bending fiberglass bows. And this one I would always prefer instead of a laminated bow or whatever, all this fancy stuff, because this is a piece of bending fiberglass.
Same here.
Can do a lot of damage with
no this. Lamination.
You can step on it, the humidity, underwater, in rain. It simply doesn't matter. All these laminated bows would be too too fragile, too, they're laminate, whatever delamination.
Yeah.
I would simply take
and I'd say don't take a weaker bow lower than 40 pounds.
40 pounds minimum, yeah.
I'd say.
But last time I saw Ted Nugent always does his streams, and then he was showing a picture of a girlie. She goes hunting with a 30-pound bow, and she shoots even whitetail.
Yeah, of course.
No problem. But of course, you go safe side, and at least 40 pounds should be, and heavy arrows with it, so that you're good to go, obviously. So I would most probably not take carbon arrows, but I would take simple arrows I have.
Yeah, and I would also recommend to buy a good book about hunting and bow hunting, so you have some ideas how to start with it, what you have to look for, or what is a sign for what, and so on. You have to get a little into hunting, so you know how to start.
And trapping, fishing, trapping, hunting. Yeah. Fishing, I would most probably still do normal, not bow fishing, but I don't know. I never did bow fishing.
Bow fishing, I think, is more in creeks or in rivers with bigger fish, because you can't shoot trout or so. You can, but yeah. Or in lakes, maybe where carps are.
And you put them like you did. You throw some old bread in it, and then you just shoot them on the surface.
What else?
What else do you need? You have. I would see that I get some rainproof bag for it, for my arrows, that the fletching at least is kindly decent, and that my stuff doesn't get too wet. For the rest, what else do you need? Archery related hunting.
And maybe if you feel it could be a longer stay or trip, then maybe you learn how to make your own arrows and how to glue on feathers and so on. But even if you look around the world with the tribes and the tribal folks and so on, they just paint the feathers, or all that works.
You don't need glue for it, of course.
What else? There's, as you said, a bigger knife or little axe.
A big knife that you can chop something, that you even can chop some wood, or a kukri. Kukri, I would take a kukri. And then, of course, a small one where you can cut your meat and stuff like this, and something else for versatile, whatever. So I would have most probably 3 blades with me.
Yes, and if you have a firearm, you just go to the supermarket and say, I need meat. That's easier. The simple way. That's interesting also with that Walking Dead serial.
Never watched.
It's kind of the first
but I heard it's quite good.
It's not so bad, because there you can see how they organize, because everything is broken down, no electricity and no power and so on. Interesting.
And then in a survival situation, you always have the 3 minutes, 3 days, 3 weeks that you can stay 3 minutes without breathing. So you always need to make sure first that you can breathe. Then 3 hours, I think, you need to be warm. When you stay longer than 3 hours somewhere in a freezing cold, you're going to die. Then 3 weeks without food or something. There's this 3 that you always make sure first you can breathe. Second, make sure you stay warm and dry, and then care about water, and then later care about food. So food is not the first priority. Most people think, we need to get food, but it's not the first priority.
In most cases, the best advice would be to go, not to stay. Move, the safest thing is to move. There was an interesting guy, a guy named Pretorius. He was in the First World War in British Congo and in also in German, Eastern Africa and so on. And he fought against the Germans. I think he was Dutch or something, but he fought the Germans with the English. And his best advice always was never stay overnight 2 times at
On
the
one
same
place
place.
again.
Yeah. When he was on holiday, there was a deputy commander who replaced him, and frequently these commanders got shot by German snipers because they didn't listen. Don't stay at the same place.
Always move on, of course.
Yeah. And there, when there's a kind of prepping situation, it's quite difficult because if you think about if you're making a fire,
just wanted
people
to
will
mention
find you.
smokeless fire, or you make a fire pit that you don't see the fire, and you can make this in you dig out the hole and you make the fire inside there. Then people don't see it, but it's tricky, of course, because
they smell it. For very long distance, you can smell a fire. So it's not so easy. So maybe a little fishing and the fish drying in the sun, like the Inuit and some tribes do. That's not a bad idea.
Sushi, it's fine.
Sushi.
People pay a lot of money to eat raw fish, so it's fine.
Just need rice and dead leaves, and you make nice carp sushi.
Yeah, it's not so easy when you think what you have to. It always depends which survival situation you are in. When you only go out for hunting and you don't have to fear now for your life, you make your fire, But if the situation changes and you need to move,
and you in this zombie serial, you can see it, and it's true. Bad situations cause some people to get very good people and some to get very bad people.
Yeah, changes. Yeah, of course.
Yep.
But it's normal. In these situations, you see then the quality of people. Yeah?
Yes. And to mention another serial, how was it called? X Factor or so.
I don't know, but I don't know the English.
I don't know, but Mulder always said to Scarlett, trust nobody. And that's one of the best advices if you're ever in an environment you don't know a lot about. Trust nobody. The most evil persons are good talkers in most cases.
Yeah. They keep you in a vague safety, and they're coming with me, blah, 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 and then just
like Pinocchio walks into the toyland with the cat and the and the fox.
I forgot.
But there's one thing I have to mention. You're a lucky guy if you have women with you, because they have that female warriors, they would protect you.
We need to call Petra when we get out. Then with
a big stick.
She sits on your shoulder like a horse, and then she can shoot everything on 100 meters.
Yeah, with her armory.
It looks good. She has a new one now. It looks really nice.
Yes, like I thought this kind like this leather fetish chamber.
You again. Stuff. I understand.
I had the impression.
Yeah.
Could imagine a party like this.
I understand, but we talk about prepping and survival now, okay?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Petra. I had you in my dreams.
First make sure that you have water. I would take a small one of these, where there's these finger saws, these 2 rings and this flexible saw. You can put some, and you can quickly, because until you chop a bigger branch off takes a while, and with the saw, and you have it. Something
and like a kind of water filter.
Yeah, water filter, exactly.
Yeah. When I was in Idaho, there were lots and lots of small creeks, of small, and they said never drink, because there's some kind of, I don't know, from beavers or foxes, and they say you die if you drink, you die.
Okay.
So it's crystal clear mountain water.
Imagine you don't know.
You would drink it.
Yeah. Well.
So a kind of water filter system, or there are even kind of tablets, I think. How is it called? You can put in. So it's a lot stuff to carry.
Yes, and of course a lot of rope, a lot of paracord stuff that you can build a tent or something.
A leather
and learn knots, learn how to tie some different knots.
Yeah.
This overhand, underhand, and all these hitch and stuff.
A Leatherman tool would be handy because you have pliers with it.
Exactly, it's always good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a scissors, of course.
Can't be wrong. If you put this one into your archery hunting box,
always good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you put everything in one box? Imagine you lose this one box, then you're screwed.
Yeah, but then you're getting in, as you say, in devil's kitchen, because you say, okay, if you use this box, you use a second one with the same content, and if you use the archery box, you need another box.
And I mean, when you lose your bow, you can't do anything with your arrows, and when you lose your arrows, your bow is not so helpful. Yes, of course, I have everything together. But the knives, I would have a knife in my pocket, a knife on my belt, a knife in the bag.
Of course.
So then if I lose the bag or something, then
And also, if you think about money, if you have some money with you, put it in different.
Yes.
So if a gangster can give me your money, you grasp in your pocket, that's my money.
Yeah, no, 15 euros. Yeah. But I think in these times, it's not about money anymore, because then we're already in the cashless society, and you can't buy anything without your credit card and your social credit system. But we don't conspiracy now. It's not really.
That's a whole conspiracy.
It's coming, but
except in China and in Australia.
Hey, Australia is just nice. No, it's fine.
They call it now South China.
It's so hilarious what's going up down there. It's just unbelievable.
And if this would be in another context, and the military would pick up and arrest indigenous, native Aborigines and put them in camps. Funny how the newspapers would bring up this if there would be another context to this. But
they would have a special, not the Omicron, they would have a different virus developed only under the Aborigines, and that's why we need to separate them from the normal people. They always find a reason.
Yes, they don't like to get vaccinated, the Aborigines.
Makes sense.
Maybe they had some bad experiences.
It should be still a free choice. I have nothing against vaccines. Everybody who wants to get, please feel free.
Yeah.
But if somebody doesn't want for whatever reasons, it's his human right.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
But this is already conspiracy, and we'll get already most probably deleted again because we said so. But yeah, Austria, Germany, and Australia, these three countries right now. Huh? Yay.
Yeah.
Nice.
We have to re-invite our Chinese friend so we could ask him how it's going on in China at the moment.
Yeah, they still exist, they still live, so it's fine. But I mean, the importance of Austria right now, when people don't stand up in Austria, and then of course, Söder in Germany directly, oh look, easy peasy, we do the same. And then France, oh, easy peasy, we do the same. Only Spain said already, no, we don't have this.
In France too, you will see in France.
They get on the streets again. Then you have again burning streets and cars and stuff, of course. Yeah. But this is, they always try again, but the people go on the street, they are not so lame.
Yeah. The dumbest people are in Austria and Germany, I guess.
Yeah. In this regards, yeah. No, but it's another thing. So we are still on our bug out, a bit first aid stuff, bandages, stuff like this.
Yeah, maybe
for infections or fever.
If you can collect some antibiotica.
Yeah,
it's important because there are
you can get
diseases or stuff you can get.
There are real diseases, yes, and then
or infections or something.
Then you should have something for it, exactly. Yeah. So to clean your wounds, so if you have that, you can disinfect your wounds. Something. Yeah, this is nice.
Yeah.
But nobody would consider taking, and now we don't start again. For your bug out kit, you would not take AstraZeneca with you 5 years because you need it.
No.
Nobody would think this in a
No.
survival situation. But yeah. Yeah, and then
What
good
else?
shoes, good clothes, obviously. Practical clothes. You don't go with your high heels, most probably.
Yeah, and clothing you can layer up
Yeah,
more thin
exactly.
components.
Mm-hmm.
And best is, of course, this high tech, Gore-Tex and so on, but also wool.
Yeah, inside.
Wool is most underestimated
Mm-hmm.
because wool stays dry even if it's wet,
Mm-hmm.
and it still warms you even if it's wet and so on.
Because the sheep are not stupid. Yeah, it's like this. Only the sheep are. Mm-hmm. Yep, makes sense. And then some raincoat or something. And then I would take some of from the hardware store, some of these PVC sheets, a big plastic plane.
Yeah.
That you have
Yeah.
something just in case you need to build a tent and you don't have the time now with
That
layers.
strong ones, that thick
strong
ones.
one that you can use it either as a layer underneath that you don't get wet and that you can wrap it around it. That you have some dry place to stay.
A nice sleeping bag you would need, I think.
Yeah.
And some mattress for under the sleeping bag, if possible.
If possible. Oh, yoga mat or something. They are not so bad. They are not so thick, but they already do a job.
Yeah, maybe also some of these, these aluminum blankets, the first aid blankets.
They're really good. They keep you warm and dry. And you can build your head out of it if you need to. If you have this, you sit in the forest and you think, oh my God, I run out of ideas. I need to put my aluminum hat on.
Yeah, and they say, oh, the aliens are here. No.
Exactly. It's important, you never know. Yep.
What else?
Maybe a small radio, a small FM radio that you at least can listen to whatever some news or something is coming. I would even simply say a CB Funkgerät. Because this will be when all the mobile phone stuff breaks down. The how do you call this? What is a cell broadcaster? What is the name for CB? How do you call this? The walkie-talkies. This will be still working then.
Yep.
That you can get contact with others or whatever.
If maps, of course, or a GPS.
Yeah, a compass.
A compass. Yeah.
A good idea.
And how to handle the compass.
Yeah, of course. But I learned it. I was in the army. I learned it. I have my.
Yeah.
And don't rely on your phone. So don't think that you can do everything with your phone. A good flashlight.
A good flashlight. Spare batteries, of course, for every stuff you have with
or even one of these small, with a crank on where you can charge.
Yeah.
And you're not so dependent on new batteries or stuff. You never know if you get.
Yeah, even radios available with this.
Yeah, of course. And it makes sense. And if you need to shave, get some shaving equipment, but I think it's the last thing you care.
Yeah.
But on your side, it's not bad to have a few shaving blades with you somewhere.
Yeah.
You can always use them as a tool or something cutting away. You can always use them. And they don't take a lot of space.
Or this little, I once had one and it was a wonderful electric shaver with batteries.
Yeah, I had one too.
Very nice, very nice.
When I was at the army, I had one. I had 2 AA or AAA batteries.
Yeah, very nice.
It's quickly in
and it really shaved very well.
Yeah, you can still get them in China.
Yeah, I know they are available.
Support the Chinese government, of course. They still have.
The Chinese have no beards, no?
Yeah, because they have all the good shavers.
That's good shavers.
Yeah. Speaks for itself. See now, not here. I don't know. Yeah.
What else?
I don't know. Yeah, good clothes, a hat, sunglasses, depending.
Of course, some tin mugs, a coffee mug.
Yeah, it's of course tin pottery. Yeah.
So you can use it on the fire and so on.
Yeah, small pot that you can heat up something. Yeah,
you need
Or even one of these small stoves, you know, there are these small foldable stoves.
Yeah.
I had once one, it was a water stove made for the desert. It was like this height. It was built inside like a chimney, and outside was the water reservoir. And you put the wood, simply even wet wood, you could throw in it, and you light it up from underneath. And with this chimney, with this, it started burning. Even humid wood started burning, and you had outside the water, and in 20-30 minutes you had boiling water. That was a cool thing.
Yeah,
it's made for desert, Sahara, whatever. So, but it's really cool.
Because if we talked about water, and you are again talking about water. The last thing, the best thing you can do is, of course, boil the water if you're not sure if you can drink it.
Yeah. Boil it.
Old trick.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Coffee, espresso machine. Yeah, it just gets a little.
Maybe this instant coffee, you just have to pour water in.
What I used when I was in Regensburg, there was this nice Russian supermarket, and they have these condensed milk in these cans, but it's very creamy. It's not condensed milk. It's very creamy and very sugary. But they had the same with coffee, and this coffee was already ready made. It was bean coffee made, and then with this condensed cream, and you could take a spoonful. It was like honey.
Yeah, I understand.
Put it in hot water, stir it, and you had a wonderful good coffee. Really good.
Good thing, yeah.
That's something in a can, you know, you have a few with you.
And also not to underestimate are these cheap instant soups.
Yeah.
Because you don't need a lot, and you have a nice soup, and it warms you, and
it's dry, it's packed small, doesn't weigh anything. Yeah. When you have it with you, it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Unless you start finding the right roots and, you know, whatever you could make.
Mushrooms.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yay.
Zombies are here.
And you, in your case, of course, cigarettes and a few lighters. I would take at least 10 lighters. A few waterproof matches and stuff. So
and lighters, and
that you always can make fire.
And you know, you will stop smoking, of course.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because if you're in a different situation, or maybe you smoke one in the evening just to have it, and not all day long.
Campfire, and you relax a bit too. Why not?
And I also think that the kind of brandy or whiskey so would be very very sought after goods. If everything is breaking down and you have a nice bottle of whiskey,
always good.
You can trade it for a girl or so.
Even if you only drink it. I think in a survival situation, it's not the first thing. You know, when you see the Maslow's pyramid, then on the base there is not reproduction.
Girls is not on the.
It's not there now. So I didn't find, but I wrote it there then, and I wrote Wi-Fi underneath. So these are the basic needs.
But if you have two bottles of whiskey, so you get two women, so one could go fishing and one hunting, and you stay.
No. One can bring the food, and the other one can prepare the food, and take care of the camp and me. That's fine.
Yeah.
And we need three.
So also in the Great Reset world, there's even place for women.
Of course, nobody said that there will be no place.
Not
they only don't own anything, but they will be happy.
So we can't own the women any longer.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Do we own them?
Sounds horrible.
Yeah, that's you're in general a horrible person. We know that.
Klaus Schwab. I'm not horrible.
Yeah, you started this now. So when I always have to shout until I get it out, then it's not working. Then it's not survival. Because you need to be silent sometimes. Yeah. But it's you could build even an atl out of this, you know, you make here a nail and then you can atl.
Yes, or to play hockey with it. Yeah.
We'll play hockey, have a bit entertainment.
And
or if you break your leg, you could use this to machine or something, you know.
Yeah.
It's not so bad. Like pew pew, you can scare a few. Like, hey, stand, I shoot you. And then, oh my god, don't shoot me. No, okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
okay.
if you're using a kind of recurve bow, I'm not sure if it's true with your Asiatic bows, but the more recurve you have, the more problems you will have with noise, with string noise and so on.
Yeah, it depends on which one you have. There are silent ones. I would most probably not go with a recurve bow. I would take a reflex deflex longbow, which has a nice performance and which is still silent. But
Yeah, or like that.
I think I would take whatever, or I most probably would even take two bows because you never know.
Why not?
And then I have them at hand, so why not?
Yeah, maybe this kind of old compound bow would be nice too.
Yeah, this is loud. This one is loud and rattles and makes noise. I would not take this, and it's heavy.
Yeah,
And I see this one, this is 400 grams, and this one over there is more than a kilo. And when you go, every gram counts. So that's why I would not use this one. And I'm most probably better with the small one. If I have to shoot something, I hit more with this one.
And maybe about arrowheads or broadheads, I would use the simplest I can get.
Yeah,
I
of
would
course.
use Zwicky or Riptech or you know, every two-bladed,
Yeah,
simple, not the three-bladed, not the four-bladed.
they take already
Just-
more space. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Two blades are fully enough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agree.
Yeah.
We agree on so many things recently. I
And
don't
when
like that.
on if you really think about bow hunting for food,
Yep.
you have to find out game trails,
Yep.
game crossings.
Yep.
Maybe there are some kind of funnels, you know, where the deer has to go through. And there you can erect a kind of tree stand or
Yeah.
climb up.
I think if you're out in survival, I think you go more for a small game like a rabbit or something because it's easier. You know, you find the rabbit poop somewhere. I think I would not go directly for a deer or something. Me personally.
Yeah, here, but if you're able to shoot a rabbit, it's a kind of occasion you have. But I think in our area, it would be easier to get a roe than a rabbit.
Okay.
For example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, whatever you can hunt on.
What is important with rabbit hunting, you can at first you can hunt them with blunt arrows.
Yep, exactly.
Best advice to use blunt arrows.
Yeah, always.
The cheapest blunt with wooden or aluminum arrows of 1132s is empty 38 special or 357 casing. Yeah. And we were in the Snake River Canyon in Idaho with Nate Steen and Leoshet, and we hunted for rabbits, and I never got one. And Nate shot two. And I said, why I can't get one of and there were lots there running criss and cross and everywhere. And Nate said to me, Peter, you are hunting too far. Don't look 50 meters. Look at the front of your toes. It's 10 meters.
Yeah.
Because they hide, and when you step close by, they run away. So they are not far from you. They're 6 meters from you. Then they run away. And the 50-meter rabbit will not. You won't see them because they don't run away. Yeah. So that was a good advice in my opinion. So look in front of you, not too far. I wanted to make it good to look far. Oh, they are the rabbits, but that's wrong in this case.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good advice. Yeah.
I guess the same is true with pheasant or so.
Yeah, most probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this distance, you have a safe kill, you know, because it's relatively easy.
Yeah. Nate shot one rabbit with a rubber plant. You can't imagine. It went through. This rabbit had 2 holes of that size.
Jesus. Yeah.
And the rabbit wanted to slip into its cave.
Okay.
He couldn't get in because the arrow was
stopping him. Like, yeah, I want to go in. It's not funny, but I
not
understand. You can
funny.
see
No.
it. It's like when you have a dog and he has a big stick and he wants to come in the house and he gets stuck on the door and doesn't understand what's
Like
going
that,
on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
This one is funny. The other one is not. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. And then what you need to learn is learn herbs, learn what you can eat and what you can't eat, what is poisoning or whatever with mushrooms, get a little understanding of this stuff. I would take one of these. So it's best you get some survival book where all this is a little written in it.
Yeah, with the herbs and the plants and so on. Yeah. But most things you can eat at least one time.
You can eat everything once. Yeah, of course. This is what I always say.
Yeah.
Yep.
What else?
I would take most probably a bit tea with me or something that I can make in the evening. Bit tea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Warm up. Depends where.
And for example, sugar or something like it, because when you're out in the wilderness, a piece of chocolate or sugar, it's a nice thing to have.
Or a few of these energy bars, with some granola or something like this, something like this.
Yeah. And always keep an eye on the stuff the military is using, because they have very nice items, often little ovens, little, these dishes, they make their food.
Good. Very good. Small, lightweight, durable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's developed for these cases.
Cheap too, in most cases, not expensive.
Yeah. A set of cutlery, normal fork and knife that you can eat properly. You don't need to eat like a hobo. Yeah. As long as you can have it and handle it, makes sense. Or chopsticks if you like it Chinese, and eat with chopsticks.
What I else would take with me is a good set of binoculars.
Yeah,
you can use it for many actions.
Yeah, makes sense.
Not only for hunting, but also to see what is going on.
What's going on in the far distance. It's always interesting. Yeah, of course.
How many people are there?
Check out some locations before you come close. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. What else? Maybe some candles.
Yeah, that you have evening light.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to carry.
I just was thinking there were quite some bags we have to carry now.
Yeah.
So it's best you have a small trolley you can pull after you.
Some women.
Okay.
Warrior women.
And they carrying everything on your head with this.
You mean black ones? But they like it. Yeah.
I'm not a racist.
They are used to it.
This is racist.
Since they are used to it.
I see already the shitstorm coming again. What about you? You're such a macho. Like the last one, it was nice to see the macho and the womanizer. And then I was answering, who is who? He left it up to me to decide. I said, I think I have an idea. Yep.
A macho is a good person, because machos treat women very well, because they treat them as women. And so I think it's not okay to talk bad about machos.
I didn't.
And next thing is, women only love machos, not weaklings, not soya boys. But
put the microphone clear. Good.
There's something.
Of course, they like strong boys, of course.
Yeah.
Like this post last time, so now you rethink your choice of getting this soya eating vegan, whatever, and not one who can hunt or something like that. Yeah. Soon in this location. Yeah.
When I was a boy, I had some books, and I'm sure they're not available in English, but the German title was Die Höhlenkinder im heimatlichen Grund, the Höhlenkinder im Pfahlbau, and so on, this cave children. And it was about It was about, I think it was in the 1600s or so, and an old grandpa and a grandma, they fled in, it was located in Austria, the story, or maybe in Bayern, I don't know. They fled to a valley, and then rocks fell down, and the valley was closed from the outer world, so they were encapsulated in that big valley, and so they had to invent everything because the old Poppy later died, and the grandma too. So this boy and this girl were alone, and they invented everything for themselves, like you would have done in the Stone Ages and so on. Very nice story. That they like making weaponry and making clothing and everything. It was a nice read back then. Yep.
Nice. I just realized while I listened to you, I would take a slingshot with me. A good
why not? Why not?
With a few metal bearings, and even with these, there are these small arrows, these like nails with this hook where you can really go hunting on short distance. This one, I would take one.
And you can use a slingshot also. I don't know if the story is true, but from an older lady, I bought a packet of old arrowheads, and I read it in a kind of story of Howard Hill, and with this arrowheads I have it here. Just a moment.
Yep. To entertain you. Yeah. And of course, I would take my back scratcher with me because it's an essential tool. Okay. Silenzio.
And it is like that. Let me see. Was there also a spring? I don't know.
No, it's autumn. It's almost winter. It's not spring.
It's like that. There's a hole and a slot and a kind of nail, and you can put it onto the arrow.
And you shoot it away. Yeah.
Yes, and you put inside here that small, for the cap guns, that red paper. I don't know. And they said what I read, and this lady wrote it to me. Her husband made this thing, and if he saw, I don't know, 50 meters whitetail or so, he shot over it, so it banked on the other side, and the deer coming
in this
after
direction.
him.
Yeah, makes sense.
You can do the same thing with a slingshot. You shot over the deer is listening to the
and runs in the opposite direction. Yeah, of course. Comes to you. And then you say, hello.
I don't know if it works, but
theoretically, yes.
Yeah. Or was it like that?
It's on impact, then it simply makes bang.
Yeah.
Oh,
anyway.
Yeah. Good slingshot. So
you can spook deer in your direction, so to say. No, it was like that, I think. I think it was like that. So that was outside.
Yeah. And then when it hits somewhere, then bang.
Yeah. Interesting.
I mean, even with your slingshot, you can shoot arrows, when you have the right stuff for it. So just in case. And I think I would even rely more on a slingshot than on a bow.
I think for small game, I could imagine for rabbits or some birds.
Yeah. I mean, most probably not. Some big deer or something, most probably not. Yeah. Need a bit more.
I think with a slingshot, you have to shoot at the head of the prey, and you can't do it with a whitetail or with a roe or so. It won't work.
Yeah.
And you know what? Very interesting. The smaller the game, the harder are they to penetrate with bow and arrow.
It's not so much
exactly
because so you shoot them away instead of penetrating.
Yeah, because if you hit the a goose or a duck at the head, the neck will bend and the power of the arrow is absorbed. But if you shoot the kind of wild boar straight forward into the head,
boom. Yeah.
that's impact. Once I shot a little white boar because I have seen pictures of a wild boar skull, how a till shot into brains. And so I had to do it, of course, and it worked, of course. And then I dug the skull with all the, fur and meat on, in an anthill.
Yeah, what do I say? Yeah, well, after a week,
next time I went by, I saw it was dug out and lay aside. Then I had a wire with me, and I fiddled some wiring through the eye socket and fastened to the tree and so on. But after it was gone with the wire. So it was, I don't know, other wild boars or a fox, I don't know.
Or a human.
Maybe, but I don't know if they would have detected it. I don't know.
Yeah, one never knows. Yeah.
I wanted to have it cleaned by the ends, and then maybe I would have make a cut so you can see the embedded broadhead, but
didn't work out.
Lost.
Need to shoot another one.
Yeah.
Now, even a slingshot, because when you run out of ammo, you at least can shoot some small pebbles and rocks, so you still can have something as defense or primitive.
Once I had a guy, he had this kind of David's slings.
Yeah. Yeah, and easy to make,
but very difficult to handle.
You need to learn first how to use it, and you need a lot of practice, but then they're very accurate and very powerful.
And you can shoot, and you can throw big stones.
Yeah, of course. Those do some damage, and once you know how to, I mean, I believe in the story of Goliath and David that he was using this one.
Yeah.
Because David was a hirte, a shepherd. So he had his shepherd stick, and then he put the sling on top. And
as far as I know, it was that kind of sling. It is one leather pouch and two straps.
Like the Balears.
Yes, you have to hold that one strap tight, and the other one
you let go.
You lose and let go.
I don't think so, but it's fine.
I don't think the whole story is true.
Jörg Sprave had once a nice video, it's a few years old, about these small metal balls they found with a 4 or 6 millimeter hole in it, and nobody really knew what they did with it. And then he tested on a stick, having simply a nail pointing out, and put this thing on it, and then you throw it away. Then it makes a little noise because of this hole, and it was quite damage what this thing does. A lead ball, this size.
If you have adequate deer or animals, even a bowler would be a nice thing. You know what these gaucheros have? This three spheres.
Yeah, you only need to make sure that you don't kill yourself with it. You need to know how to handle it.
But if you throw it around the legs,
and exactly.
Yeah.
What else?
And if I would back out, I of course would make myself a kind of good spear.
Yeah,
I think so, because it's a nice.
You can always use it.
Handy weapon.
Yeah. You can use it when you walk somewhere. You have it as a stick, and you have a weapon on it.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Last time I had here some kind of preppers, and we talked through all weaponry, pistol, revolver, shotgun, and rifle, and everything. And so we talked a lot about it. And I thought they shouldn't underestimate a good stick, a good broomstick, or a good hazelnut stick. It's a lot more than nothing. And if one guy has a knife and you have a stick of 1.50 meters,
you have a longer reach.
You can beat him up like hell.
Yeah. Exactly. And I said it's when you're in a rocky, in a mountain area, it's always, when you have a stick, it's always nicer to walk.
Yeah,
it's always good to have a stick, of course. Yeah.
You can use it for everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course fighting. Or
Yep.
you throw it someone or you can do a lot of damage with it. Yeah. True.
So that was a poor man's weapon, but a very nice weapon. A good stick is a nice weapon. Yep.
Yeah. That was in China when they didn't allow them to have weapons. Then they came all with their stick, and of course they put their food bundle on it. So I'm a farmer with my stick, and they didn't say. And that's why all these stick fighting forms are so much developed there, because everybody had a stick, and so they could know how to use it.
But apparently it was also very common here over, because if you read that old Robin Hood stories where they fought with the quarter staff and so on.
Yeah. Because it makes sense. It's easy to make, and it gives you an advantage over someone who doesn't have it.
What many people don't think about is also these walking canes were weapons in their way. Or in England, these umbrellas, they've very well made umbrellas. So if you hit one with a nice umbrella.
With these walking canes, there are fighting forms with it. How to fight with a walking cane. Yeah, of course.
I think, where's it with at the old Avengers with Shirm, Sharm and Melone.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Patrick McNee had kind of this walking cane, and I think he has a rapier inside too, if I remember well.
Once one of these. Yeah, some guy gave it to me. There was a long blade in it. It was cool.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah. There were even walking canes with a 22 and so on.
Or even with some whiskey. Yeah. So we need 3 walking canes now. One with a gun, one with a blade, and one with whiskey.
Every nice fashion is gone. Back then when you watched the older movies, every man had a hat, every woman had a hat. They had walking canes, they had umbrellas, they had a kind of etiquette. If you would walk today with a walking cane, say a crazy guy, no?
Yeah. But you can make a difference, you simply dress up like this. I like this. Because I think so too, when you see even photos from older times, how they dressed up when they went to work, when you see from train shots inside in Manhattan or something, how all the men with the suit and the hat dressed, and now you see them in their jogging suits.
Or even the old expeditions and mountaineers and so they had their tweed jackets and trousers made from tweed, and so they went up to the Himalayas.
Always make a good impression. You only can make once a first good impression, this. Make sure you dress properly. Makes sense.
When you see that old safari movies, when they are in camp in the evening and they're preparing food, then they go to their tent and put on their smoking and dresses, and in the evening they are in the wilderness with the smoking, because in the evening they are gentlemen and at day they are hunters. That's what I like.
Makes sense. I like this in this old time, that they even then you are invited for lunch, then you dress and you change and you dress properly for it, and it has a style. And it's got
one of my favorite movies is the movie with Michael Caine, and the title is Zulu. It was about the Battle of Islandia, I don't know, in South Africa, where I think about 20,000 Zulu warriors overrun the British. They were the small post, and a very nice movie. And they awaited the big attack from the Zulus, and all the hills surrounding were full of Zulus, Zulu warriors with shields and spears and clubs and so on, and the British with their red uniforms and the pit helmets, were in the behind their shields, had cover, and the officer walked by, and one of the soldiers says that button opened here, and the officer said, what's wrong with you? Are you taking a sunbath? And he explained them, we are the visible part of the queen and the empire. So it can be you have that button off.
But it can be helpful. I remember now while you explain it, an old Lucky Luke comic, when there was this fortress and it was invaded by the Indians. And then in the fortress, they ran out of food. But then the order came from the general, we need to pretend that we still peel the potatoes and peel the potatoes very thin, because the general will later pretend to check if you peel them. And then the Indians outside, I don't understand, they still make food, they can't have food anymore. Confused Indians, you know. So sometimes it's a good thing that you keep your things straight and in order.
It's the same story. I think it's said about Salzburg, because they call them bull washers, Stierwascher. There's a story, they were under siege. The city was under siege. I don't know who was in war with them. They had only one cow left.
Okay.
And so they painted the cow and showed it to the
enemy.
combat. Yeah, and then they washed it and painted it in another style. And
how do they have so many cows?
They have hundreds of cows.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Doesn't help. Good, but we drifted a little away from our.
It helps. It helps if this army who is besieging that fortress or that castle or that city, they are also not fine.
Yeah.
You know, they are not fine in this situation. So if they we have to stay here for 6 months more, so they get devastated and maybe go. And that's what happened in this story.
Psychological warfare,
yeah.
Hitler did.
Or you send out all the ugly women.
Yeah.
Women, like we said.
Yeah, in my castle there would be, but it's none. But it's fine.
You have to take a kind of spare uglies to send them out to the enemy.
As female warriors.
Talk all, yes, female warriors.
They talk them to death.
They talk all day long and
the nagging ones, yeah.
Look who's here.
Oh, Millie.
Millie.
She doesn't like you anymore. Huh?
No. Look how fat she is.
Oh, lolo. I think she's pregnant, huh? Did you get
No.
The only fat. Millie.
Millie. She's so ugly to me.
Because
look, like a grumpy cat. Look, grumpy cat.
Maybe I'm because so you're ugly to her. You need to be more nice to her. You always put this Chinese hat on her and she didn't like it, you know?
No, I'm so nice to her, but she's not nice to me.
This is what you get with women.
Yeah.
You need to treat her. You are the macho. Treat her like a macho. She will like it. Don't be so kind to her. Don't be a softie. Don't be a soya eater, you know?
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, so I'm too soya to her.
What you get then? Cats don't like soya people.
Really? Oh, I love her so much. But she's a kind of how is it called, a dictator. I'm her slave.
Yeah, of course, it's normal.
Yeah.
Like the saying goes, dogs have owners and cats have servants.
Yeah,
this is what you get. Yeah.
She just abuses me to open the cans and giving her massages, and that's all she needs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, so what else? Yes, you see, you have a big problem if you like to back out and you have a cat.
You can take it with you.
Then you have also to
all these end time movies, no matter who it is, Will Smith or whatever, they always have a dog with them.
Then you have to feed also the dog.
Yeah.
Or to eat the dog. Also possible.
Yeah. You can take a small piglet, instead of a dog. When you're hungry, then you kill it.
Yeah, and you can eat everything, because if you think about in the United States, they eat that squirrels and so, and
yeah, of course.
I'm sure you can eat also rats.
Yeah.
Not that ones from the,
Not the one from the city, but in nature,
but
living Russia, of course. Why
in
not?
nature, I think
A
so.
rodent, why not?
It's like a rabbit, yeah.
Exactly. I just want to say a rabbit is a rodent too, right? Or not? So
Yeah.
same
Breed.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter what you find, yeah. Mm.
But I must not have this kind of worms and what they eat
Yeah, of
now.
course. Snakes? Would you eat a snake?
I think so because a snake, if you prepare it well, I think it could be like an eel or so. No,
I don't ever ate an eel because I hate eel.
I had it, but not too
Mhm.
bad. And if you put all the ugly stuff
No, of course.
out,
Mm.
it's like a horseshoe of like
Yeah.
a fish,
Yeah.
and you fill it with rolls, dumpling, filling, stuff it.
Mm-hmm. You grill it
Birds,
or something.
birds, you could eat
Yeah,
every
of course.
kind of bird.
I mean, in France, there's this big that the small Singvögel.
Yeah,
When they
yeah,
come
yeah,
from the south, they build nets and
yeah.
then they catch them and then they first feed them with some alcohol drank food that they get big and then they eat them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah. Everything which runs and flies, why should they poison us? No.
yeah, birds you can eat. Yeah, I
Mm,
think every bird you can eat.
I think so. Even pigeons. Pigeons are good.
Pigeons are
But,
very nice.
yeah.
A friend of mine had, back then here on the countryside, a lot of farms had this pigeon. I don't know
Mhm.
how it's called,
Yeah.
stables or so,
Yeah.
and they had them for food.
Yeah. You
And
went.
nice duff soup, or
Mm-hmm.
pigeon soup, or not bad. And we even grilled them
Mm-hmm.
because there are some breeds of doves. They have a lot of meat on them,
Mm-hmm.
and if you compare them to a chicken, they have more meat
More
on the
meat, yeah.
breast and so
Mhm.
on compared to chicken.
Yeah. It only depends what these eat, when they live in a city and eat all the garbage and all the
Yeah,
trash, then of course the meat might not be that good. But yeah, why not?
in the woods.
A well-fed pigeon.
Yeah,
Sure.
what is
Mm-hmm.
snakes, worms?
Mm.
Yeah, or even frogs. The French
Yeah, but not for me. So if I don't
frog
have to,
legs. I had them.
yeah, tastes like chicken.
Yes, like I think like a kind of this crocodile or so, like between fish and chicken, something like
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm.
White, they had white meat like
Yeah.
fish.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of frogs they are
Yeah, I don't know.
because they had them on the menu back then, so they
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Mm.
Are they some they breed them just for the legs? I don't know.
Maybe. Then they give them small wood legs, because you don't kill a frog because of one leg.
Back then they had on the menu turtle soup
Mm-hmm.
and these frog legs and turtle soup.
Mm-hmm.
You would go to jail, I think, if you offer
Yeah.
turtle soup today.
Yeah. Things changed. Yeah. Mm.
Uh,
Yep.
So
But even
what's
snails,
more?
even if there would be snails, I would not.
Yeah, I
This is
don't
not
like
for
them.
me.
No, it's kind of
Yeah.
I don't know.
Same like with oysters, it's not for me. So even if there would be a whole pond full of, or the sea full of oysters, I
Oh
would.
yeah, no mussels and oysters
No,
and
no,
shells.
no.
I like them.
Oh, no,
I
no,
like them.
no, 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 no.
This nice. This how are they called? That kotze in that white wine, boiled in white wine and so.
No,
Oh, it's
thank
not
you.
too bad.
No, thanks. Maybe you can have it, and we can, it's fine.
Fish. I like every kind of fish.
Fish is fine.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Good. So we are prepared. Let's
Yeah.
hope. I think it's better we don't get in this situation because we'll be screwed in a few seconds.
Yes, and as we said, it really depends. If you know you have to stay outside for 3 weeks or for 1 week or for it's
Or
a
you
big,
don't know how long you have to stay because it's a survival or end time scenario. You don't know how long you will stay or where you will end up. So you simply take your stuff. Most probably you never come back, but you want to survive in a way. So most probably you're on the way to somewhere, or you hide somewhere in the forest, in the mountains. You build a small hut there that you're completely off. Then you need to see what you're doing.
yeah, a nice idea would be also if you have some gasoline in storage.
Yeah.
So if you have a car,
Mm.
or maybe some have this, this how are they called, that trailers,
Mm-hmm.
that truck with a,
Yeah,
no,
that would be
if
perfect.
you
Yeah.
have plenty of gasoline
Mm-hmm.
stored, so you can go to a
Yeah,
silent place, or
remote place. Yeah, that's true.
yeah,
Would be helpful.
because where would you go? Would you go just outside here in the woods? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a question. You need to be flexible then and see what's happening. That's why you need your binoculars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think most people wouldn't leave their home
they
as
would stay
easy.
home. Yeah.
There must be a big event or
Yeah.
something, a big danger or
Mm.
marauding terrorists or so you
Mm.
would leave your house or your
Yeah.
home. I
Mm.
think so.
Mhm.
It's the last idea.
Less thing. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
of course. Mm.
Yeah. And then it's a question like with this Walking Dead, are you looking for other persons, or are you avoid any other person?
Mm. I think I would first avoid them because first, don't trust anyone.
Yeah. Yeah. And in most cases, I would trust official people, military people, police people,
Mm.
rescue people.
Yeah.
You can be wrong, of course,
Yeah,
but
yeah, of course. They can be on their private mission too. You never know, but yeah,
yeah.
mostly. Yeah. But even you never know, when the military is government driven and the
Yeah.
government caused you to leave your house and to whatever, go somewhere because you are not agreeing with the government plans. You want to be out
And
of sight of the military.
and you see how fast it works out. If you think about that Hurricane Katrina or some
Mm.
kind of disasters,
Yeah.
instantly there were gangs
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and evil
of
people.
course. Taking advantage of the situation. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they were
That's
so
why at home.
they
Yeah.
were so hungry.
Yeah.
The poor people were so hungry that they stole television sets.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because you can eat a long time of them. Yeah, yeah, of course. No, but the thing is, it's really, if it gets worse, first of all, you should leave the capital cities. So I would not stay there because if there is organized crime, it will be always first in the big
Yeah,
cities
yeah,
because there's everything close together. Why should you go somewhere
and
in a small village and find one small
and
supermarket?
important. You are anonymous.
Yep.
In a village, you are not anonymous.
Mm, yeah.
Every everyone knows
They
you.
work together. Yeah, you work
He
exactly.
stole
Yeah.
the car from the neighbor. They will
Mhm.
say, but in the city,
Nobody cares. Yeah.
yeah,
And there will be, if then the first, you have then gangs and even some races or religious groups will group together and say, okay, then let's see, now we need to survive, so we simply invade Vienna now. And
that's why in these scenarios, in these
mm,
cases, all that let's say Muslim cultures
mm,
or foreign
mm,
imported cultures will longer survive because
mm,
they have a big bond of
yeah,
a strong bond of family,
yeah,
so they will survive.
exactly, this is what and they will group together, and even if they disagree because they come from different countries, but they have the same religion
Yeah,
And then they will work together, because then they are all one blood, one brother, and then
And that's why the communists and socialists, the first goal of them was to destroy the family. Because if you have strong families, the government can do nothing.
Exactly. Look at Fast and Furious. For Dominic Toretto, the only thing what counts is family. And then what you get.
Look, the Godfather. The Godfather.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, so
look at the family, everything.
Yeah, the family. I will make him an offer which he can't deny. Yeah.
Genau.
Yep. Good. We
look at that little.
Yeah. But she looks a little Chinese today, like.
Oh yeah, I'm Chinese. I'm from Wuhan. I like to eat flock, bat, snake, bats, snakes, and flocks.
Nice.
Oh, she's so fat. I always say she's. How are they called? These fat models, but full size models. You know, full size. She's a full size.
Full size. Oh.
Full size cat.
Oh, yeah. She doesn't like that. Look at this. She really doesn't like you anymore, huh?
No.
No, you have some.
Yeah, she likes me.
Yeah,
she's always.
When you give her food, then it's fine, but she doesn't like to be
taken. She's always, when I'm going into the kitchen or to the bathroom, or she always follows me and looking what I'm doing, and so.
It's simply she doesn't want to be taken. So if then she wants to jump on your lap, then it's fine. But if you take her,
she never will jump on my lap.
Okay.
Never. You have to grasp her and kind of rape her with cuddling, and then she likes to go away. But on the other hand, she likes it. Like girls.
Women, or we know.
Yeah. They don't know what is wrong with them.
Yeah.
When you take them, they say, oh no, and if you leave, then they, oh no.
I don't know. Well, you left me. You don't care about me. But I just did. No, I don't.
You don't really love me. I know it before, and like that.
Like Ephraim Kishon once said, women are like an open book for me, written in a foreign language. Doesn't understand the word.
But if you know that you can't understand them, you understand them.
Yeah, of course. Once you accept the fact that you don't understand them, it's easy.
This guy is crazy. Okay, she's crazy. So everything is fine. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it or leave it, like we say. Yeah.
So why do I have to pay from Switzerland custom fees?
Because it's not in the EU.
The other guy,
Sperry
sent me a Korean bow and a few arrows, and I paid today €104 customs.
104.
Yes, customs.
No. I like to send a book over to Cody and one to another guy. So I have to pay. I don't know what the shipping is. Okay, but I have, even if I mail it, ship it as a letter, I have to have this sheet, value and blah blah blah. Yeah, it is.
No, when you send it, you register. No, but you need to always do it now. Yeah. But you can do it online at home. At least I can.
I know. If you do it in the shop, it is about €3.
It takes ages. And I do it at home, and then you get this number code, this 5 digits or something. You write it on a parcel, you give it to him, he types it in and have all the information. It goes very quick.
Okay, I have to do it. Yeah.
Because in the beginning I had these papers, 4
copies,
and you need to fill everything and give it to him. And then once I prepared, I had to ship 4 bows, and I came with all my papers, and he was looking at me and went crazy because he needs to type then everything in.
Yeah.
And then this is a small post office, and then there's a queue standing. He got nervous and made mistakes, and I said, look, leave it. We put the other 2 next day. And then he said, you can do it online. I said, look, I don't know it. Nobody told me. I do this now here in this post office for the last 5 years. always the same. Nobody told me. Now I know. Now I will check online. Now I will fill it online.
I thought you have to print it out and then put it on the packet.
No. They print them. They do it because they need to weigh it then, and then with the weight on it and all the stuff they have to put on it. No. It's you can print a copy for yourself that you have it. I always take a screenshot of it that I have it for a while until I ship it, and then I delete it. Simply this number digit important. You write it on the box and it's fine.
Yes, because we talked about Magen Gomp.
Oh, yeah.
We should have him on the show. I have to.
Especially, I want to talk to him about now the Bowman series bow. That we know a bit more about this.
I gave him the specifications you gave me, but if you talk to him, I don't know.
Yeah, we should have him in the show. We ask him. Oh, you want to ask him if he has time?
Pardon?
You want to ask him? It's 1 hour of his lifetime. I mean, he could spare it. Come on.
I know he's so busy.
Will be 2 hours then at least, but it doesn't matter.
Yes, and he talks. He's nice.
He's really interesting. First of all, he's a nice person, and he has a lot of knowledge, and he's a good businessman. So he has 3 things which really work well together. Yeah. So that's why.
And as we said, he's making every kind of bow, not just long bows, not just Asiatic, not just this. He makes everything.
Recurve, everything. Yeah.
Yep.
We should.
I will try to talk to him.
Okay. Because people don't want to see our 2 faces only. They always like to see some VIP which we invite.
Yeah, because they don't value us enough.
This is what you get when you are the maker of this show. Then you live from the ones you invite. It's a sad truth. We have to live with it.
Then we should look for our Indian friend, not Jasminda, but the Native American Indian friend.
Yeah, this one we still we need to have him when that shows our bows. His bows.
Yeah.
And the Japanese guy again.
Yeah, and the Chinese guy.
And one day we will have the guy from Peru. One day.
I hope so. And Tink Nathan again.
Tink, important.
Would be nice, but he's so busy with his girls.
Yeah, it's just hilarious when you see what he posts every day. He has internet of girls. But now he's 80. Now he's in an age he can do that.
Yeah.
Fine. I give it to him. I give all the pleasure. And
but I guess he has a nice ranch there.
I think so too. Yeah. I think I could live there. So
I think so. Yeah.
Do something or nothing. It would be fine. Yeah.
I think it's a big thing.
When you see, I have now this guy. His name is Ali. He's from Texas. He's from Austin, north of Austin. I forgot the name now of this part of Austin. And he's such a nice guy, so open-minded, and you simply can talk to him.
Yeah.
And he's a humble person. He is martial arts instructor since, I don't know, 30 years. But he was listening to me, not like, I know that. I said, yeah, interesting. Okay, I will do this, like completely humble. Such a nice guy, really nice.
And you see,
it's a joy to work with him, it's wow. It's nice.
When I was in Korea, and that was partly paid by the UNESCO and so on, because it was cultural and so on. And there was one mayor of a French city, and they had an annual festival of medieval, archery and everything. And one woman, she was the head of the museum they have there, and another guy from France who was in our group, so to say. And I talked to them, and they said, "Oh, it's so hard from the EU that you get some money for making stuff like that, or so." And you see, in Texas, they give him $500,000 and okay, make a shooting range.
Yeah, make an archery and make something. Yeah. I was once. We have in Valletta, there is an EU office for fundings. I forgot MUSEC or what the name is.
Yeah.
And then I was in a local council, had an appointment with the mayor, and then I found a leaflet from this MUSEC. And then I was reading it very carefully and thought, oh, wait a second, but this one I represent with my archery range. this one, and this one. So there are at least 3 kind of fundings which I could get. So what did I do? I was calling music, made an appointment, and went there. I said, look, I am the archery guy, and blah, blah, blah. And he said, yes, but you know, I said, but look in your own leaflet, what is written there? I said, can I see it? I didn't know that. I don't know this leaflet. I said, but it's from your office here, from here. Yeah, I don't know this one. I said, okay, then we stop here directly, wasting our times, and I leave. It's hilarious.
You know, but here around where I'm living, I think it's one of Europe's biggest connected forest areas. And if it's horrible to explain, to tell this, but if you fill out some formulas and so on, they planted a climate forest here. You know, all is full of forests and trees, and you get money from the EU if you plant a climate forest. You know, little trees.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
For shit like that, they have money.
Thank you, Greta.
Yeah, or if you make a kind of evening school, how to tie a burqa or a jihad, or how is it called? Then you get money. But if you say, oh, let's make a shooting range, no.
And I mean, archery is a tradition, you know, it's a culture, it's a thing which really should be preserved and better exposed to people. And especially when you see in America, most people, or all my friends in America, either they go hunting, but if they want to shoot normal, there is no normal shooting range. You know, this is only hunting there, and compound bows and recurve bows, but Asiatic bows, nobody, you know, there's nothing. So they shoot all at home. They have all a field, put the target and shoot at home.
Everything connected with shooting is a problem here over. Once I had the discussion with a school and archery, learning, bow and arrow. But we have some children, they are refugees from Afghanistan and Syria. And maybe because it's shooting, they get triggered. I said, what? This is a sports tool. This is fun. This is not a Kalashnikov. They're crazy.
You know, in Germany, I had the Wudang Foundation. So we made this for internal arts. And then we got invited in Weiden in the Oberpfalz. And there was a home for kids with migration backgrounds. So you had every nationality you could possibly think of. And then we offered their archery. And that was the highlight for these kids for years. They were all like, oh my God, they couldn't even, wow.
And you know, I shot a lot with refugee children, of course. And you know, we would have plenty of work and money if they would do it in schools. If they would, if it was a fixed part of
the afternoon curriculum. Participate in archery every Tuesday, every Thursday from 3 to 4 or whatever.
I did it for 3 years in one school in Vienna. Wonderful.
When you see in America, there is this NSPA or whatever, National Schools Archery Program, something, and they have now more than 1 million participants. So it's an afternoon activity for the students, and they have already now a huge amount of data of that the dropouts go back and that the grades getting better only because they do archery, because they do something where they focus, where they release stress. You know, we know all the positive benefits of archery. And there you see it in data, in numbers, dropouts less, the grades go up, you know, the stress or the bullying and whatever, you know, everything gets better because archery is the solution for almost everything.
And and if you talk about refugees and foreign children and so on, so in archery can be as good as the white guy, as good as the Austrian, as good as the German, the Afghani boy can be equal in this, like football or so. So it connects.
Yeah, of course.
And you know how happy I had a lot of Turkish girls.
Mm-hmm.
They even had their scarves and stuff,
Yeah.
but they, in their culture, I don't think they do a lot of sporty things.
Yeah.
And so they were amazed. They, oh wow, that's
Mm-hmm.
nice, and they
Yeah.
liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had one too once. We had in a school the program and I did the archery, and there was a Turkish girl and she was completely negative. And then when it was her turn, then she said directly, "Yeah, I can't do anything." She gave completely up with her life. She will never be able to do anything, achieve anything. I said, "Look, let's first shoot some arrows." Then he shot the first one. She hit the corner of the target. The second one got closer, and the third one hit. She had almost a center shot. I said, "Look what you are capable of." And she
yeah,
was directly almost ahead bigger when she went away.
yeah,
She came like, "Oh my God,
yeah,
life is,"
yeah, yeah.
and then she went away and it's like, wow,
We
nice.
talked we talked about it before, and also handicapped children.
Of course, yeah.
You can help them,
Yeah.
and I'm a devil too. If I find it out, I help them so they are better than the others,
Yeah,
than
at least, or
normals,
at least same, yeah, of
of
course.
course.
Yeah.
And so they go home.
Mhm.
I shot
Yeah.
today, and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, very sad that archery has not its real place in our society. All the
Yeah.
all the shooting stuff, and
Yeah.
and and if you think that idea on and on,
Mm.
look, in the United States, when
Mm.
there is protesting,
Mhm.
they go out with their AR-15s.
Yeah.
They're allowed to go out to a
Mhm.
protest with guns.
Mhm.
Here around, the politicians,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's a different look, a different view.
Mm.
If you're looking down on 30,000 people with guns,
Yeah.
or just some stupids with
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
posters or so.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why in Malta even slingshots are forbidden, because the government is exactly afraid of this, that a few of them are hiding in the crowd, and when he stands there and says something, you
Yeah.
yeah.
So they are
Mm.
stressed. Not the best politicians.
I think that archery simply has the wrong or whatever view in many people, because on one side it's Olympic archery, and on the other side you have then this so-called subculture, all these 3D, they go
Yeah.
in there dressed in NATO camouflage colors
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
whatever, prepped like they go to war.
Yeah.
And these are these kinds of archery we have mostly like in Germany. So there is
Yeah.
nothing, no middle ground for a normal people. They go simply there and they shoot a few arrows. So and and
And
from the government you get nothing.
and as we talked before about, and this kind of German and Austrian rednecks, I have to call them.
Yeah.
They like to be like that. They say, "Oh, I'm not interested what they are saying about me,"
Yeah.
but that's wrong. So they are the visible, the
Mhm.
visible, how you call it, representatives
Yeah.
of archery.
Yeah.
And if they behave like pigs, like drunken pigs, and in
Yeah.
full camo,
Yeah. What can you expect then? Yeah.
yeah, they put them in the same basket like
Mm.
the how is it called, that paintball shooters or
Yeah.
that BB gun shooters, that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I tried it so often, and then I always said, "Listen, Mayor, before I write you a long proposal, simply come. It takes half an hour. Come to the range when it's open, and we have a few kids there and whatever, and you shoot some arrows, and you simply feel it. I can explain to you now for an hour how it is, or you shoot 3 arrows, and you know how it is, and you see how people are at the range, that you really see what's going on, what benefit is." But of course,
Wrong argument. You know what you have to say to a
no.
mayor, to a politician?
Yeah, get you 5,000 euros.
No,
They
that
only
that
work for
no,
bribery.
no, 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 no,
No.
no, no, no. You have to say, and we are
It's
making nice pictures,
good for
and we
you.
put it in the newspaper.
Mm,
You are the godfather of the archery range, and you invited that here, and so That's the only point you can take a politician.
When you get public publicity, of course.
And you have some pictures with children, and then it's nice.
Everybody's happy.
Like the old Führer had the pictures with the children.
With the Hitler Jugend. No, that's not different.
All the dictators are with children.
Yeah, but at least they only stand with them, not like this dictator in America. He's always sniffing at them and touching them.
No. But they like to shake hands and get flowers from.
Of course. Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not of my business anymore. I will not do another business in Malta and in Austria. When I go there, I don't know. It is right now. Austria is not really a country you want to go.
As I told you, I'm now getting into new business. I'm testing the people. The walrus tests.
Yeah, makes sense.
So now I'm on the bright side of the force.
That
not
makes sense.
any longer on the dark side of the force. I'm fighting the walrus.
That's very good. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, somebody has to fight the walrus, because you see that even with you shoot the walrus 2 times and it's not enough.
Yeah, you need this.
You need a third shot and maybe even a 4th shot, and then you don't know.
A booster shot.
It's like with walruses, they are not easy to kill,
Oh, they need some shots. They need some shots.
Yeah. Like it is.
I have to reread that story of when Arthur Young shot that walrus.
Yeah, exactly.
You need a lot of penetration because they have
this. Yeah. I think a headshot would be most probably the most beneficial, right?
No,
I don't
think so. I think you have to shot
directly under this front thingy there, maybe. Yeah.
And then
they're always so kind, they wave at you. They say, hello, walrus, and the walrus, hello, you.
But that's a situation where you can use a 100-pound bow and a very heavy arrow. So of course, And that Art Young was a very strong guy. He had 90 pounds and 100 pounds Osage English longbows.
I mean, it's not a big thing. We have a 70-pound bow right now at the range, and I can shoot it too. So it's not a thing, but I couldn't shoot it for 2 hours, always in full draw, because then at one point you get a little, but it's okay.
I'm out of training. I'm 70 pounds is.
Yeah, it's heavy. But heavy. Last time I tried it, I thought I was not even able to pull it, but we could pull it. But the thing is, then my shoulder always starts. There's this broken bone here, doesn't like pressure from the sides. And when there's too long pressure coming in, then everything here hurts. And why should I do it? 40, 50 pounds is working for me too.
Yeah. A prepper bow of 40 pounds. That's nice.
40, 45 pounds. Yeah. This one is, I think, a 40 pounds.
And I said it before, that type of bows you can get for very little money on eBay. And if you look for a takedown, nice thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or even you build somewhere. If you don't have a bow, build a PVC pipe bow or something. PVC, you can always find somewhere a PVC pipe.
Yeah.
Built once, not a big deal. I built 30 bows out of PVC pipe, and they worked really nice. I built even worse bows, of course. Yeah.
I was fascinated when many years back then I saw on YouTube that videos where they make this, they made this.
This backyard bow inspired me because they needed small bows for the range, because they didn't have the small snake bows in the time. And so I take this 1/2-inch PVC pipe and make some small recurve bows for the kids with 15 pounds or something, and they worked just nice. I made small arrow rests in it and with a nice it was nice.
Yep.
Worked nice, and they're still working. I only gave them all away, but they worked nice.
And in one of your last videos, you presented this medium-size snake bow.
It's cool. That's one of the best bows ever. Today I shot it again. It's the Snake 50.
I need one.
It's 50
I just have the small ones and the big ones.
The small one, when you don't want to shoot the small one, the big one is quite. I mean, when 28 inches is enough for you, or 29, this one is beautiful. It's smaller, it's snappier. I shot it today, and directly groups. This is the only thing is it has this new handle design where you have this side thing is coming up. For thumb release, when I hold it like this, it's fine because the arrow rests like on a normal shelf. But when you shoot this way, Mediterranean, this thing is in the way. So if the arrow flexes around the bow, it can lift the arrow off.
Grind it off.
Yeah.
Sand it off.
This is the only thing which is a bit minor when you shoot 3 fingers, but this is.
Or you glue in some leather, so
you put you double it up that you have exactly make a little shelf in it. Yeah. Something.
I have to get one of these.
This is really fun.
And they are really made in France.
Yeah, Archery-Prepping made in France.
Nice.
You get, of course, now a copy of the snake bow in China because they bought one, and they print now a copy, but the copy is not cheaper than the original, so it doesn't.
And they are only making these bows.
They make compound bows, their own design, and long bows, and they sell a lot of other stuff. So this is LAS distributor, and they have Eastern and all possible brands. But even
archery, but all archery, not
all archery. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Nice that we have some companies still left in Europe.
And they are such nice people. They're incredibly nice. There is a change. Something last time I had to complain because I think with my videos, because the snake bow was never a big seller. And with my videos, and now you see everybody has a snake bow, and so many of my YouTube watchers, first I got the snake bow, it's so nice, and I get 2 more, it's just we have it, and then later on I get another bow. So they sell so many bows that I said, look, I have to get my bow from Daniel from Malta Archery. I would almost expect that if Archery does a new bow, they directly send one to me that I review it because it's obvious,
I don't remember where I found them because I have them for a long time.
I saw them first. I remember it because it was when I came to Malta. I thought I need some bows. And then I saw Scott Rodell. He's a Chinese sword master, archer, Tai Chi guy in America. And I saw a photo of him doing some workshop in a sports hall. And I saw the snake bows hanging there. And they even painted the limbs a bit Asiatic, whatever. And I asked him, what bow is that? They said, it's the PSE snake bow from America. And we shoot 32-inch draw, and it's ambidextrous.
Yeah, it was PSE. Yeah.
You sent me a few, and then I got my first 8 or 10 bows from him, and I paid hilarious amounts for shipping and customs and whatever. And then I realized that they are from France. And then I wrote them, said, you're in France, and you didn't tell me.
They made them for PSE,
for all of them. Can I please be your reseller? There, of course, welcome. And then since then, I buy from France, and then you get a pack of.
In one of the Hunger Games, they had it too. This
silver painted one, silver version. This is such an incredible bow. I watched last time a movie because I saw on the title it's an archery movie about a girlie, and she had a snake bow, but then they put a sight and stuff like this on it because she shot Olympic, but with a snake bow. Hilarious. And it was the movie was not really good, but it's fine. It was archery, so I had to watch it. I forgot even the name of this movie.
Related,
but interesting. And the snake bow, even a snake bow it's only not poundage wise enough that you can do some serious damage.
But that medium size, how much pound you can get?
Almost 25 pounds in full draw. So it's not that much as the big 26 pound. If you draw the big one, 26 and up to 30 inches, then you get almost 30 pounds out of it.
Yeah.
But it's
but for all archery and exercising, it's okay. For hunting, no.
I had Ali here, and he shoots Korean bows normally because he studied even in Korea archery and martial arts. And first of all, I gave him a Korean bow, and he shot 40 pounds. And then, he doesn't like the snake bow. And then I gave him a snake bow, and he didn't put it out because then we did walking and shooting and moving targets. And with the snake bow, he couldn't stop shooting it anymore. It's really good because when you have a bad habit, like he had with rolling the shoulder in or stuff like this with a heavy bow, you do it again because you're used to it. And with this bow, he could fix all these problems. Easier
because it's not too heavy.
And it's still a lot of fun. We have these lightweight carbon arrows, these cheap ones from Bear Paw, 600 spine, they fly like nothing. It's so much fun. It's really, and you don't want to put this bow out of your hand. It's just so much fun.
Yep.
And the price is hilarious. You pay almost nothing for this bow. When I see this, I did this review of a Chinese fiberglass bow, $70. It's not fun at all. So
yes, and I always say to my clients, if you really like to start, buy one of those bows. 10 arrows or 6 arrows, and that arrow stop, that foam, it's about 80 to 100 euros. So you invest about 200 euros and you have everything you need.
And you can start and you can have a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you even can shoot in your living room and nothing.
Exactly.
Yep.
And that's all you need.
Nice. So
great. Good.
Talked enough.
Then let's see that we get Margin for the next round.
Yeah, I will try to.
Or Tink, or
so.
Or Japanese or Chinese.
What about that Special Forces guy? I sent you the link.
I know. I asked him already. So he's so busy at the moment. He would like to. I would like to listen to, because he is one. I think he started this knockless arrow shooting. I tried it today again. It's really fun. So you need to prepare your arrows a little, not simply shoot a knockless arrow.
But I don't see the cost. I don't see the cost for shooting knockless arrows.
So why would you need a knock when you can shoot it without a knock?
Why you need to shoot if you can avoid shooting?
Exactly. So, why are we even talking when we can avoid talking?
Yeah.
Let's keep it like this. Thank you very much, viewers, for watching and for subscribing. Obviously, subscribe to everyone and everything. And please write in the comments what we forgot on prepping, on survival, what you would pack in the box. Most probably forgot something.
Or maybe for some show we can get a really nice prepper on.
Yeah, if you know some guy, a survival guy, we can ask Survival Lily.
Yeah.
I will need to check if I find a contact details.
That's your department.
With whom did she last time a video? Because he said he was with the Survival Lily and showed her something, but I forgot now. So we need to ask her, because she does this survival prepping stuff a little and archery. Now we need to check if we get her. That's a good idea. Sometimes I have good ideas. Yeah.
Good ideas.
I'm so proud of myself.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe we also could ask sometimes Jörg Sprave. Maybe he would like it.
Yeah, we can.
But I think he's a big guy.
We can ask him. I mean, it's for sure not his English skills which would be lacking, which others use as excuse. But most probably he's too big for us. Yeah.
But I think his channel is just like the, breakdancers channel. What about our friend from Kansas? Nothing new?
Since when do we have friends? Which one?
In Kansas.
Who lives in Kansas?
Your friend, Krause.
I didn't hear anything from him.
Me neither. No. We finished him off.
No, he's still there. He for sure watches now. Hello, Bo.
Hi, Bo.
Sir.
You're welcome at every time.
Of course, with your negative comments and stuff, it's fine.
And also with your positive comments.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's... But we have nothing in person against you, so it's fine.
No. So is there tomorrow here is a holiday?
Yep.
Also in Malta?
Yes.
Okay.
Public
Are they more Catholic in Malta or more Anglican?
They invented the Catholicism here.
Oh yes, because of the Maltese Knights and so on. Yeah.
You hear it every weekend in another village, fireworks because of one of the saints. Yeah. And when you see the Black Friday procession, I was living in Mostar where the Black Friday procession comes through. Holy cow. When you ask how much they pay that they can carry one of these statues, you could think that they have already enough money.
Last time I saw kind of documentary about Malta, about these wagon tracks in the stone.
These cart trails, these carts.
Yeah. That's an interesting thing, no? Because some are very deep, and so I don't believe these are cart trails. No,
I don't think so either.
But it's very mysterious.
It is, yeah, but there are a lot of mysterious things here. Yeah.
Maybe we can talk about stuff like this too.
No, but I don't know. Then we need someone who has a bit more knowledge, because even when I listen, even Danny, the new instructor of Malta, he always knows everything. He explained directly which ship sank somewhere because he was diving instructor. And in the Second World War, when this big fleet from the English ones, they were helping Malta, and it was like 30 ships and only 2 managed, and otherwise the Maltese would have died and starved. And he knows all these stories. I have no idea. Well, it's a lot of interesting. We have this
I think
Roman road and Roman beehives from the Romans still left, so it's interesting. Yeah.
And these cart tracks, they even don't know from which time they are. No,
I have no idea. Yeah, it's, but you know.
And if they are cart tracks, what are they carrying?
Don't think so. Yeah. But they had the purpose, but of course it's all speculation because you don't know, and they are in places which are logistically not even,
and also ending and so on.
Would explain something. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Maybe it was. I think it was a landing platform for UFOs.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, everything is possible. So for me, the UFOs were landing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, not because I have my aluminum hat is directly there, so I am still influenced of bzz, bzz, bzz. Yeah, but you know, but we are not a history channel of Malta, and Malta has not really history in archery, so.
But a nice conspiracy.
Yeah, whole Malta is a conspiracy. Like he said, you know, Valletta was built 1500 or 1600. Said, yeah, this is what they tell you. Whole Valletta was built after World War II because it was completely bombed. So everything, there is not one old house there, it's all new.
But the basements and so on.
Yeah, maybe the foundation is still there from the old houses, yeah, but they rebuilt everything after World War, because Malta was one of the most bombed places in Second World War.
So I think they've also this big parachuting units landing like in Crete and so on. I think. Yep. Okay, so
good. We leave it for now. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your time, Peter.
Thank you,
for your
Armin.
insights. Always appreciate your insights about.
Thank you.
And machoism and
macho insights.
Of course, it's important too. I mean, it's life, and we talk about what we like to talk about.
Exactly.
Deal with it or not.
Deal with it and goodbye.
Exactly. Goodbye. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one.